good evening, everybody. It's Sunday, January 17th. It is the Sunday of a 3-day weekend for many of us. But hey, we are not taking the night off. You are here for the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott. So here they are, the stars of our show. Please welcome Ken and Glenn. And yeah, me, the guy named Scott. Hey, guys. Great to see you.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, happy Sunday, baby.
Glenn, you look like you're eating.
I am, and you know that I'm happy when I have Jersey Mike's in my life. I'm talking about strong.
I have never had a Jersey Mike's.
What?
No, say it's not true.
It is true. I've never had a Jersey Mike's sandwich.
Well,
Wow.
I'm telling you, brother, you'll never go back. It is one of those. It's one of those sandwich thresholds that once you cross, it's game over.
Game over.
It's that good.
However, Glenn, I know this is for lunch today. I did have protein style. I did have an In-N-Out burger.
Oh.
Oh.
Now, what is proteins? Is that like the animal version?
Yeah, right.
What is protein style?
They wrap it in lettuce, so there's no bun. So
Gotcha. Okay.
You don't have carbs. Yeah.
That's like right down the street from, well, I don't know where you live compared to where I used to live, but it's like right down the street. I used to go there all the time.
Carolyn just reminded me that I have to share this out.
Oh, yes. Let's remind everybody watching to share this out.
She said Ken does too. That's pretty funny. Scott, can you, while we're sharing, can you give us an NFL update?
Jay Brotman says, please delete me from the Ken Walls audience. You can delete yourself.
I believe Jay has made a similar request in the past. Am I wrong?
I never I didn't alert him. I don't know who he is.
Well, here's the thing. We love to open our show each week with a list of people who are not going to be watching.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, Scott, tell us who else won't be watching this week.
Hey, we would say hello, but they're not watching.
Yeah.
Well, we have Ann Edwards from Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
We have who?
I said we have, let me see, it's written here. Ann Edwards in Des Moines, Iowa says, I've had enough of you fellas. Thanks so much.
It is not Frank Caliendo, but there's another guy that does Harry Carey. And if you grew up in the Midwest listening to Harry Carey do Cubs games, Ken, you probably know this.
Yeah.
Harry would be calling the game, and I can't do a Harry Carey, but 2 strikes on him, the pitcher's in the windup. Hello to the Mount Vernon Methodist ladies who are attending the Grand Slam home run and Cub Scout troop. And the whole thing was a litany of all the visitors that were there, and even to the point it distracted him from what was actually happening in the ball game that we were there to watch. But he was
that's funny. Stops in mid-announcement to welcome a group.
Yep.
Look, we got somebody from over on come on, Chris Ann from
Clubhouse, Drew.
Yeah. Can't believe after 10 hours yesterday, I can't remember the name of the damn app.
You'd be able to name your recent addiction.
Jeez.
Unbelievable. What's going on, Paul Williams and your beautiful wife, Kelly? How are you guys doing tonight down there in Texas? Edna Jimenez. How in the world are you?
So Ernest,
All right, I've
shared-
gotten mine all shared out to all my groups. Scott, give us an NFL report. I saw that the Kansas City Chiefs had prevailed despite the fact that their quarterback wound up with a concussion.
What a game. What a game.
Hey, Cleveland hung in there, man.
Yeah, they really did. Cleveland has nothing to be ashamed of, man. What a great game. Right now, the Saints are leading the Bucks 13-10.
And that game is in New Orleans, correct?
Yes, yes. And hey, Sandy. Yes, that's right. With Donnell. Yeah, very cool.
Paul Williams, Texas, the greatest country in the world.
Woo, come on with it. Come
Yeah.
on with it. Well,
Wow.
gents, I'm glad to be back home. You know, I always have a good time in Atlanta, but it just feels great to be home all the time. You know, in my own bed,
Yeah.
my own routine. And we had, I'm sorry, Kerry, that your Browns lost. They played a hell of a game and they had a hell of a season. And they
It breaks
haven't
my
been,
heart. Just
you know,
tears
they
me
haven't
up.
been in the playoffs in so many years. What is it, 18 years since they were in the playoffs?
I think it's more like 42 years.
It was during the Grant administration.
They didn't arrive by bus; they arrived by Pony Express.
Oh, that is so funny.
What do you call it when everybody's together in the parking lot? It was, the tailgating.
Yeah.
Tailgating with covered wagons, right?
Hey, let's talk about Clubhouse a little bit.
Boys. Let's.
That is so funny. What about
Weldon
Clubhouse,
Whitehurst?
Glenn?
Weldon Whitehurst is here with us tonight. And,
Well, then.
and we have,
what
of
is
course,
going on?
Scott. Give it to us, Ken. Scott Ricard.
Oh, Scott Ricard. That's right. That's right. And his sister Wanda is here. And they know Scott McCain for all of life, right?
Part of the Crothersville Mafia. Yes.
Pamela
Right.
Aubrey here. We always love her. We got to have a daily dosage of Pamela in our lives. Robert Brooker, good evening to you, my brother.
Glenn should have been
James?
the owner of the Browns in draft day.
Ooh, yes.
Let's
Explain that comment to me.
Is that a movie?
Draft Day is the Kevin Costner movie where he's the general manager, and it's all the stress and pressure that goes on to, with the general manager to make the right choice. Well, he's got the coach wanting something, and the coach wants one thing, and the owner wants something else. That he's just trying to figure out what the best thing is to do. So
He's saying that I would have made a good owner in the movie.
Yeah.
Cool.
An authority figure. Justin wants to know what's for dinner. I guess he was late.
Justin, I'm having Jersey Mike's, my brother. I'm winding down. I have thoroughly enjoyed being in rooms with you this week, dear brother, on Clubhouse.
I see
You
Brad
are the
Bailey.
only person I know that supports people as much as my buddies here do. You are an incredible supporter of other
He
people,
really
brother.
is. He
And
really
we appreciate it. We admire you. We're just grateful, man. There are not a lot of people that have a really good practice of edifying others. Hey, Brad. Glad you're here, brother.
Brad is scheduled to be on my show.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
When-
Sometime,
When are you guys doing that, bud?
sometime in the near to distant future. It's I believe it's
That's kind of a definite maybe there, isn't it, Ken?
no, I think it's February. Let's look. I can tell you.
It was a great point that was made about, we might have some folks watching who don't know what Clubhouse is. Sandy says, Clubhouse, please expound. So you guys have spent a lot more time on Clubhouse than I have.
No, but go ahead. I'm still eating. Please explain.
It is an audio drop-in app. Invitation only, and
My God,
only
you did that
available on the
concisely.
iPhone. Huh?
You did that so concisely. It is an audio drop-in app.
It's exactly what it is.
Well, I get it, but I'm not that well educated. It's this thing where you get on your phone and you hang out, and you talk to people about how do you put this? Different subjects.
So it really is, and you can create your own room and title it whatever you want, and it's just a lot of it's a lot of fun. Glenn and I did one yesterday, started at about 4:15 Eastern time, and 4 maybe 4:30, I don't know, somewhere right around there, and it was phenomenal. And I think it was about 9 or 9:30, and we were running 60, 70 people in the room, which was pretty amazing. And then we had Grant Cardone pop in with his 106,000 followers, and we shot up to 470 people in that room at one point.
Right.
Did you see all those notifications of people wanting to come up? I couldn't keep up. I was like, I'm just ignoring them now. I can't even take this.
Oh, people raising their hands to speak.
It was insane. And then we held on for we had well over 100 people for several hours. It was incredible. It was incredible. So
it was.
If you're not on Clubhouse, here's what I suggest. I suggest that you download it to your phone. It is invitation only. Hopefully somebody that you have a connection with on your phone will see that you're waiting to get in, and they'll be given the ability to invite you. And it's that simple. Look at that. Scott's got a fan in the house.
Oh, that's so nice. Omar, how are you? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. I really
tried.
You have a fan and I had a hater. Wow.
My sweet friend.
It's not the same person, right?
My sweet friend Renee is here with us tonight from Vancouver. You guys know Renee. I tried to send her an invite to Clubhouse the other day. She didn't even know what Clubhouse was. She may still not know. But I need to figure out how to get her an invite so that she can be a part of it, because it's right up her alley. She's a night owl like I am, and it would allow her to drop in and visit. It's wonderful, Renee. Really wonderful. And pretty much any topic under the sun, whatever you find to be stimulating, you thumb through all the rooms and you'll find something that spins your propeller, whatever it is. Ken and I can usually be found, and I think the same is true of Scott, in rooms that have some sort of wellness theme, some sort of mindset coaching. That's where I am 100% of the time. But I mean, if you want to go on and learn about aliens, there'll be a room for you. I found a room the other night where a guy was praying in tongues.
Wow.
For real. And a man, he was on a roll.
Wow.
And I tuned in because I just had to see what's going on over there. And I went, I think I've seen enough, but it was interesting. We got some more people saying hello. Hello, Megan. Hello, Nancy and Amy. Well, Chris Ann, it was fun to spend some time with you last night, dear. That was lovely. What is Brad saying about February 12th?
Yeah, he's booked for my show on, actually, Brad, you're booked on February 9th because your movie comes out few days later. And I'm excited actually to have him on. Brad is,
well, why wouldn't you be?
He's an amazing actor, good friend of yours. We had him on that one night he came on here. That was fun.
Yeah,
but
I think that'll be a wonderful show. You'll have a good time with Brad. Brad's a hoot.
And his new film comes out on the 12th, Land.
Mm-hmm.
So excited about that. Do you make up a fake name or your actual name in Clubhouse?
Probably
Oh,
both.
you have an iPad. There you go. It'll work on an iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Brad posted kind of spurred a question as a fan of the movies, but having very, very limited experience on doing one. Brad was saying that Robin Wright starred in and directs. Glenn, I'm just kind of curious, what is it like when the director is also in the scene, or the director is?
Yeah, it is.
Does
It is
change?
different. It is different, and I've done it a couple of times. Did it with George Clooney on Good Night and Good Luck. George directed that.
Great
And Clint Eastwood in the movie Bloodwork. Clint directed that and starred in it. So,
And you were in both of these?
yeah, but Clint
Wow.
was more adept just because he's done it many times. I was with George on his inaugural outing.
Yeah.
Right, that was his directorial debut, and
Oh.
we were filming. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, we started day one. It was day one of the movie, because you seldom, if ever, shoot in sequence. And I remember George shaking his head, just going, I may have bitten off more than I can chew, because this wearing two hats of being the star of the film and directing it is a bit much, and it is.
What
It
does
is.
a director do? I know that sounds probably like a trivial question.
Well,
but
I'm not going to give you the smart ass answer, which you know what that would be.
he directs.
Right.
Yeah,
So I won't say that.
or she.
What
He-
right.
he or
What
she.
they do is they coordinate the visual and emotional aspect of the film. However, in most instances, from the performance side, they will toss in ideas for nuances if they're not seeing something that lines up with their vision. The reason you don't see a lot of it is the bulk of the directing shows up in excellent casting, meaning they're casting the people whose choices they're in love with. And at that point, it becomes add water and stir. There's very little directing that goes on in television, far more. And I'm talking in terms of performance. There's far more in film and TV, because in television, I mean, it moves like that. It is so fast that they hire the actor who has choices and is ready to rock and move fast and deliver. So even in features, I'll tell you what they're not there to do. I have never seen a director use a crowbar methodology, meaning they're not there to pry out a performance from an actor. They're not there to go on an archaeological dig to find the magic. It's not what they do. They hire someone they believe is magical and then stick them in front of the lens. They work in a cooperative manner with the DP, which stands for Director of Photography. And the DP's job is to deliver the vision the director has. In other words, the director says, here's how I would like it to look. And then the DP says, and here's how we're going to make that happen for you, right? Visually. Here's the story I want to tell. And the DP comes in and says, let's make the story look this way. Now, how do you feel about it? So if you have a good DP, it takes a lot of pressure off the director's shoulders.
Where's the producer?
Very soon. What's that?
Where's the producer fall into? Are they on the scene at the whole time?
Yeah, producers tend to be on site, and their job is to corral everyone in terms of locations and anyone that's going to be involved. They make that happen. They don't have money involved in it typically. And that's what an EP is. The executive producer is someone who pays for it. So the final decision of anything goes down to the executive producer, because they got a stake in the game. They got a dog in the hunt. So they get final power of veto. And a good EP will recognize the importance of being supportive of a director's choice, because they obviously they want a happy director. A happy director usually equals a happy set, and a happy set equals happy product. So you'll make a good movie. The last thing you want is a film made by a disgruntled director. or for that matter, a disgruntled actor. I've been on those sets. Fortunately, I've never been the disgruntled actor. Right,
Glenn, I think Justin.
Alan Smithy is not somebody that you want to have directing you, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Alan Smithy is not who you want to have directing you.
I don't know the name Alan Smithy.
It is the name that the Directors Guild of America has assigned that when a director is unhappy and pulls out of a project and doesn't want his name associated with the project.
That's the name?
People say directed by Alan Smithy, S-M-I-T-H.
Oh my gosh. They never too old to learn something, Scott. Thanks. I never knew that.
If you'll look up films by Alan Smithy, they are all the ones where director, got whatever, and walked off, and then somebody else had to come in and finish the shoot and didn't want his name or her name on it, that kind of thing.
Our Sunday night show has never been directed by Alan Smithy, has it?
Not yet.
Aren't we kind of a self-directed deal?
I'm dying to ask a follow-up, which is you hear about these directors like Kubrick that would do a gazillion takes. Even today, you hear about David Fincher or others that do take after take after take after take. So from the performer's standpoint, how would you feel about that? Because Clint Eastwood's movies look pretty fabulous to me, and he's noted for not doing a lot of takes.
They have nicknamed Clint Tommy Two Take. Right, that's it, because it's two and we're gone. Wow. Because again, the reason is because he's not hiring rookies. He's hiring people who know how to throw a pitch across the plate. He's not going to stand there while you pitch balls. He hired you because of your ability to pitch strikes. So he basically says, we're going to turn on the camera. We're going to film you pitching 2 strikes, and then we're going to move on to the next take. And it works very well for him. So yeah, the excessive takes, that would probably be saved for the control freak mindset that wanted to control every single aspect of it. And at that point, intuition goes right out the window for the performer. Yeah. You realize you're there as a puppet.
Yeah.
And I've never been, I'm trying to see if that's true. Yeah, that's true. I've never been directed by someone like that. Hello, Glenn Bill.
Look, Justin's trying to drop all kinds of things for Glenn to shout out like he does on Clubhouse.
We need a sponsor for this. I think that'd be perfect.
Well, Coach, last night I said the next 30 minutes of our show will be brought to you by the good people at Jimmy Dean Sausage. And then at one point, didn't I say, Ken, that what was it? Tonight's discussion is brought to you by the fine people at Farmer John, easternmost in quality, westernmost in corn-fed pork. That's so you, Scott.
I love it.
That is me trying to channel my best Scott McCain.
This will not be nationally known, I don't think, because this brand wasn't nationally known. But there was a comic back in the Louisville area that talked about, okay, so isn't it interesting to think what sausage is made of? Because you have Armour beef sausage, which is made, of course, of beef. Then you've got Bob Evans pure pork sausage, which, of course, is made from pork. And then you have Purnell's Old Folks sausage.
Oh, jeez.
Please tell me that's where the punchline stops.
That's it.
And you let the audience fill in the blank. I love humor like that.
That was actually the name of the sausage. Purnell's Old Folks sausage.
Bob Evans is is it in Indiana? Are they in Indiana?
Oh, they're everywhere. Yeah.
Well, they're not in Vegas.
Comes out of Indiana, Ken.
Hey, dude, Bob Evans is from right here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Right here.
You're right. There's not a Bob Evans in Vegas, darn it.
I think it's like more of a regional kind of thing, or I don't know. I don't know how far out they go.
And isn't Dave Thomas out of Columbus, Ohio? I mean, I know he's deceased now, but didn't Wendy's start in Columbus?
Yep, sure did.
I don't even think I'd have had the same life without Wendy's.
Neither would he.
No doubt. no doubt. But I remember years of enjoying a nice smoothie.
Yeah.
Right? You get your Wendy's double. No, that's In-N-Out. But the double. No, I think it's called a double.
The double. Yeah. It went
Yeah, the double at Wendy's, and then you top it off with a nice little smoothie. Is it called a smoothie? Chocolate smoothie? What is it?
Yep. Or
Frosty, isn't it?
yeah, a
Frosty.
frosty. Yeah,
That's
frosty.
it. Chocolate frosty.
And I worked there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you want to know how they make the chili?
No.
I don't know. Do we want to know how they make it?
Yeah, I'll tell you how they make
No, he asked
Go
that.
ahead.
He said no.
Sure.
No, it's
No.
actually not that bad.
Just the old folks.
You know when
It starts with a bunch of old folks, and
I
then we
wonder if
scoop
I
the cheese
signed
out of their
anything
toes.
I wonder if I signed an NDA. I was a teenager, so it doesn't matter. They can't hold me to it. So the chili, so they always have hamburgers down on the grill. Always, and they time it on how
Right.
many you're going to have down. They time it based on, average rush times and all that. So, you're constantly flipping these burgers to, is anybody coming through the drive-through? These are getting old. And so they have a pan that you keep right next to the grill. And when they get to a certain point, and it's literally judged by the chef, the burger flipper guy,
Highly
goes,
trained.
"Hey, this shit's looking pretty old now. Let's throw it in the other pan." And then after the other pan gets full, you seal it, like you keep this plastic over it at all times, but then you seal it up and you put it back in the freezer, and that's where the chili starts.
Wow.
I swear,
Well,
swear to God.
Thank you for that insight.
That's
As long as we're debunking myths, isn't it true, Ken? Maybe you know this because you're from Columbus. Isn't there someone there at Wendy's whose job it is to spray paint over the whip marks left there by the jockey?
the what? What? What are you talking about?
Thank you, Scott. Tip your waitress. He'll be here all week.
I don't get it. That went right.
Isn't it someone's job there whose job is to spray paint over so you don't see it, the whip marks left by the jockey?
So, what type of animal would a jockey be with?
A horse.
And scene.
That felt really like an airplane joke.
You know, Ken, the beauty of you is your purity.
Yeah.
As you sat there so innocently going, no, still not there.
I'm still waiting on that one to land.
It'll come in.
Horse meat?
Yeah, there it is. See, Gary Shill gets
No, it's not horse meat. So
wait, Wendy's isn't horse meat?
No.
All these years later, I'm just finding this out.
hey,
Well, then let me ask you equestrian.
no, it's not horse meat.
Oh, come on with it.
So here's something else, and this, Scott, you'll love this part. I'll never, ever, ever, ever forget this. And every time I go through any kind of a drive-through and order something, I think, oh my God, you need to read the Wendy's employee training manual because you don't get it. I don't care where I'm at. Like it doesn't have to be Wendy's. It could be anywhere. There is this one, and I remember they drove this home, and that is when somebody is ordering, when you feel like they've completed their order, you don't say, "Is that all?" which I think is like 95% of the way everybody else does it, right?
Right. I never thought of that. Yeah, of course.
And they drive it home that you're supposed to say, "Would you care for anything else?" Which is a really pleasant way to say it.
Yeah.
And if they say no, you say, "Okay, your total's going to," well, back then it would have been your total for that
huge meal that you're buying will be $4.53. Now it's like that. Your total will be $864 at the window. but like would you care for anything else instead of, is that all?
Well,
Like
Yeah.
I literally say to people, is that not enough? Did I not order enough?
that now. Do you have White Castle? You do in
Oh,
Columbus.
yeah, they're from Columbus too.
Yeah.
I know of it, but we don't have it here in Texas.
I just saw they sold something like their billionth hamburger, which has got to translate into at least 10 pounds of meat.
Yeah, because they're tiny.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And the whole idea is to go down to White Castle and order a bunch.
Oh,
It's like Crystal Burger also makes the same kind of product. Are you familiar with Crystal?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they have those in Georgia. So I see Crystal Burger all over Atlanta.
We used to joke in high school about going to White Castle down in Louisville, and four high school guys in the car, going through White Castle and ordering. I want 20 White Castles, large fries, and a Diet Coke. What's wrong with this picture?
That is funny.
20 hamburgers and a large fries and a Diet Coke. I don't want all those extra cocaine calories there.
Yeah, that sugar.
I have run, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I have run a social experiment that I'm not necessarily proud of, but I'm going to share it with the audience anyway, at Jack in the Box years ago, where one of them is that I rounded up 50, I believe it was 50 or close to 50 different people I knew who got in a caravan and lined up one after another. We followed each other in the middle of the night to a Jack in the Box, and all 50 people ordered the exact same thing.
Oh,
in
wow.
50 different cars. Then, because I enjoyed that so much, and we made it a point to have the last person say, what's good? Right? That's how they walked in. Good evening, welcome, Jack. What do you guys have? And let them announce, but what's your favorite hamburger? And then when they said it, they said, yeah, I'll have 2 tacos and a Diet Coke. I mean, it was, and then they went with the same order that everybody else
Oh my
had
god.
ordered. Now, here's the one that I did that I'm not necessarily proud of, but I wasn't trying to mess with anyone. I just was curious how it would be reacted to. I went in and ordered the grilled sourdough burger. This is a long time ago, like in the late 80s, about 88, 89. I ordered the grilled sourdough burger and I think an iced tea. And I ate it. And that's all I ordered. No fries. And I looped back around and I ordered a grilled sourdough burger and an iced tea. And I went through and she's like, oh, it was funny. It was funny. It's like, your first one wasn't enough. No, I'm still hungry. And I went back around a third time and ordered a grilled sourdough burger and an iced tea. And when I got to the window the third time, here's the look I got. And I did it a fourth time, which scared the employee.
Oh.
Oh.
And I didn't mean to. That's the truth. I wasn't trying to do that. I just wondered how long it would take them to comment, I guess, on the behavior. I wasn't menacing. The fifth time.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. Oh my god, dude. What?
I'm not joking.
Oh my god.
The fifth time I went, the manager told me that I had to stop. When you think about it,
Product.
when you think about it, my crime was that I was buying hamburger.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I didn't act weird. I didn't say anything. I wasn't menacing. I wasn't rude, but it was too out of the ordinary
Yeah.
for his coping skills. And it made him think that I had snapped and that I was getting ready to do something. And it actually scared them. And I'm thinking, this just went south real quickly. This is not what I meant to do. So I apologized for my appetite.
Oh my God.
And I never went back to that Jack in the Box.
That's so good.
It was funny.
You know what? I had, when I lived in Vegas, I had Jack in the Box one time and I got sick. Never had it again.
And that was the extent.
That I never had it again.
Tonight's second half hour of the show brought to you by the fine people at Jack in the Box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually names them Yak in the Box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Scott at 737.
Can I think one more thing though, real quick? The late Don Imus, who was a
Sure.
radio
Hold on one second. I'm sorry.
in Cleveland was where he did this before he moved to WNBC in New York.
Mm.
He called a McDonald's and he said, "Yes, this is General Smith. We're out here doing maneuvers at a nearby National Guard area. And unfortunately, the person in charge of supplies forgot to order lunch. So I'm wondering if we could put in lunch for these military men that are serving out here on maneuvers." And the kid at McDonald's said, you could hear his voice, "Yes, I guess so." He's like 15. He said, "Great. I need 3,800 double cheeseburgers."
Oh my God.
Of these
3,800.
Oh my
3,800, I need 8 with no onions. 14 with no ketchup. Like 600 Big Macs.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
This poor kid go, I gotta get my manager.
That's beautiful.
The manager comes on and he's like going, how many with no onions?
Only 3,700 of them will be without onions.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and what this teaches us is whenever we go outside of the box of normalcy, it French fries the circuitry of people's brains.
Yep.
Sometimes, because everyone's thinking same with minimal variation. And then you come in and go, I need 512 double doubles with I mean, it's
47 protein.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
oh, by the way, Carolyn
I'm almost late here, Glenn. to your
Carolyn
point.
just rushed up the stairs to remind me of something, and it is worthy of the show interruption. She said, let them know that 2 years later, you were the national spokesperson for Jack in the Box.
Oh, wow.
And that is a true story. I had forgotten about that I went on to introduce one of their new hamburgers and was their spokesperson for like 2 years.
How
Hey,
cool.
I've got
Isn't that
a
funny?
surprise for you guys.
You do?
Yeah. You ready for it?
We're always ready here at the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott.
Okay, here's the surprise.
Jeffrey.
Oh,
I was going to put 11-year-old Gabrielle up, but she's working on some new. What the hell is she working on? No, what's her program?
Oh, After Effects.
Yeah, she's working on Adobe
Jen.
After.
at 11 years old, she's doing After Effects. Holy cow, that's fantastic.
Very nice.
That's extraordinary.
I just shared it out where I think I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
the only reason why
Hey,
I'm here. Okay, bye.
Yeah, my technical assistant full time.
Hi.
Is here.
Wow. I just got a text message from Jeffrey saying, hey, can I pop in and say hi to you guys? So here he is.
Well, rest assured, Jeffrey has a plan. His plan is to make damn sure that our show ends on time tonight because he and I are doing an interview following it, which is my fault entirely because I was napping during the time we were supposed to do the interview earlier today. I had
No problem.
serious Clubhouse fatigue, which anyone on Clubhouse can understand that condition is legit.
That is a drainer. That program is a drainer. And like half the people, you want to like punch them in the face, and the other half of the people are really good. How do you determine, oh, sorry. Don't they have like a gong? Remember the gong?
You know what I thought you were going to say?
Right.
You know what I thought you were going to say, Jeffrey, which would have been far more vintage Jeffrey. It would have been, half the people you want to punch them in the face, and the other half of the people, you want to punch them in the other half of the face.
That's New Jersey Turnpike exit talk.
The other side of the face.
That's
Wow.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So you're on. So Glenn is on your show, your podcast.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right now, I'm on the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott and a Jew named Jeffrey.
It's a very special experience to be asked to be a guest on this show.
Oh, believe me, I'm aware.
And at 7:43 every week.
Without fail, at this exact time every week, we play our game. Ooh, that's just wrong.
Oh, so I'm right on time.
Something we notice during the week that makes us go, ooh, that's just wrong.
Wrong.
You want to
Yeah.
lead us out, Jeffrey?
Well, for me, I would not mind leading you out. I am greeted now by stores when I walk in. Where's your mask? That's their greeting. That's their official greeting. And I was wondering if it would be any more appropriate to say hello and welcome. Geez, I sure hope you have a mask, because if you don't, we have one.
Yeah.
People have mask fatigue right now. I mean, they're just angry about something. I don't know what it is, but that's their greeting. Where's your mask?
They're from Jersey.
Well, I have it right here. Wait, here it is right here.
Oh, here it comes. I knew.
I
know. Unload the finger.
It's 3 minutes. What was the over/under on Jeffrey and the finger? I think I had 230. I had the under. So
Did he do it in under 3?
Yeah, no, I'm one. I just one per show. That's all.
I had the under.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Funny. Wow.
Do you use like over G-rated language? Just like a PG-13 or 19 show, whatever the PG is.
I think we don't even have a rating, really. I think you have to exceed more than 12 viewers to have a rating.
Actually, the rating would be G for genuine.
We do have that, and we have earned it.
That we do have.
My That's Just Wrong took place today.
Yeah.
Today, when, as we were going out for Jersey Mike's, I pointed out to Carolyn that I had 7 hours of Clubhouse sobriety. I'm not joking. And I announced it. I said, I just want you to notice I haven't been on Clubhouse in 7 hours. To which she said, and you've been asleep for 4 of those. She didn't miss a beat.
Exactly.
And I said, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I still want credit for that. And she said, okay. And I said, because do you understand that by your metric, that means Ken just gets reduced to 12 years of sobriety when he has 18. Right? That's the correct math. You have 18 years of sobriety, but if we're going to knock out 8 hours of sleep,
right,
he gets knocked back to 12 hours. And I said, I'm going to have hell selling him on the fact that he's only had 12 years of sobriety.
Yeah, that ain't going to work.
Right. I said, it'll piss Ken off just like it's pissing me off right now.
Men have
So
every
she gave me
reason
she gave
to
me
figure out
credit.
why they're so wrong.
Right. I've so Glenn, because of yours, Scott, may I go?
Please.
So last night or yesterday, Glenn's like, hey, let's do a clubhouse room. So I'm like, okay, about 4:30ish, 4:15, we get started in the afternoon, Eastern. And it was about 2:15. No, it might have been 1:45ish when Glenn shoots me a text message. Hey, let's close the hand raising on the room so we can finish up. I'd like to, there's only like 7 people left to speak, and I'd like to, do some relaxing and chill out. And he said, so that I think we'll be able to finish up in about 30 minutes.
But no. But no.
No, God, no. It did not work. It was maybe 1:30 in the morning when you said, I don't remember what that was, but it was
Hi, I'm Cecily from Des Moines.
Because the people went on so long? Is that
Oh,
what happened?
believe me, I heard a couple of them, Scott. You have no idea. These are people they have a platform for the first time in their lives, and they intend to use it. And
Yeah,
which is okay.
I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
And we had to bounce. I mean, we did well. Justin or Joe Ingram, he was our heavy hitter. Like I'm texting Joe, okay, this is becoming a problem. He's like, problem solved. I go back and look at the problem solved. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
But you know what's happening is that you're having one person come through the turnstile at a time.
Yeah.
And so incrementally, hours and hours and hours can erode because you're just trying to be kind and help that next person. I mean, that is how it occurs. Because if you ever said in advance, would you like to commit the next 10 hours to me going? I would be like, no.
No.
I mean, I love you, but no. And yet
I like
you
you
get
a lot. I
on.
like you a lot. I
But
don't love you. Yeah.
Even
That's
if you
right.
love me, I mean, 10 hours? Jeez.
Yeah.
well,
Jeffrey
that's a record I don't want to break.
and I, we've had it at programs where you do Q&A and somebody wants to give their keynote speech rather than asking the question, right? You've seen it.
Absolutely.
Yes. So this is what I have done to preclude that.
Yeah.
I only take written questions.
Oh,
And that way-
Really?
Yeah. I only take written questions. They'll read them. And so I read them. And that way they don't grandstand. Because people get on a microphone and go, well, my territory is not like anybody else's. I've been doing it for 20. Dude, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. So to preclude that and not hurt anybody's feelings, now I can insult the question, not the question asker. And in my single days, I would always put one in there that said, help, I'm a lonely single girl in Cleveland. And I'd like put it in my pocket like Johnny Carson did. It was just always hysterical, always hysterical.
My first question is, how'd you get to be so good at what you do? Well,
Exactly. Exactly. And because you can have fun with them. This is, but I would get briefs or boxers. I would get, how many Super Bowls have the Eagles won? That was a big one. And now, you know the answer to that, right?
Yeah.
It used to be none. Now it's one.
one.
the
Are we
second
under
one,
10 minutes for that one?
one
The
after
second
that.
one? What was the
I
minute
don't
mark
wanna
the
hurt-
second one was launched
I'm
at?
just trying. All I want to be is inspirationally funny. And if I'm able to do that in a way where it only hurts about 7% of the audience or 8% of the audience, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. You can't please everybody. You just can't. But the ones you can please are going to be laughing their asses off.
Right.
Scott, what is your that's just wrong for the week?
Yeah.
I've got it. Jeffrey knows Graham Davies, speaker from the United Kingdom, and
Yeah, he's wrong all the time.
yeah, one of the funny. I mean, over there,
Oh, he's hysterical. Yeah.
yeah, and his closing line is, and he's got the great British accent, but in closing, let me just say, if I've offended just one person tonight with what I've said, he says, well, F you, it's just one.
Exactly.
That's his close.
It's priceless.
When Tammy and I were driving to In-N-Out, she didn't realize it was on the right side as we were going down Eastern here in Las Vegas. And so she puts her turn signal on to ease over into the right lane. There is a car that's back that speeds up
Oh, yeah.
so that she can't get over. So she slows down to let that guy go ahead, and he slows down to stay where she can't get over. So, if you know how my wife drives, she just gunned it and cut it over in front of him, at which point he laid on his horn. And I'm just thinking, can't we just be nice? I mean, what did it hurt anybody to why be such a jerk? And
He's probably from Jersey.
Hey, it's first of all, it's New Jersey, and second of all, not all jerks come from New Jersey. Just most of them.
I'm sorry, the door was open. I had to.
I was
Ken,
going to get out and say,
Ken,
but the Philadelphia Eagle bumper sticker intimidated me. So,
Yeah,
Ken,
Yeah.
please treat our guests
yeah, I'm a guest here.
gently.
Wait a minute to tell me I'm a jerk.
yeah, and Robert has it exactly right, by the way.
Oh,
What did Robert say? Good evening, Carolyn Chase. Love to you, my darling. Love to you and Jack. What did Robert say?
Oh, the prick is suitable for this occasion. Yeah, he's fine.
Good evening, Joni. Glad you're here, darling. And we want to welcome, because we no doubt have acquired several Clubhouse followers this week. So our Clubhouse peeps that have attended many Ken and Glenn presentations, we're grateful to have you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our Sunday evening with us. We look forward to seeing you again at some point this week, but none of you will see me on Mondays and Tuesdays because I pay attention to my studio all day and night. So Clubhouse peeps, we'll see you at some point Wednesday or Thursday. Thanks for being here tonight.
Glenn, I had 2 people hit me up today, and tomorrow at 6:00, I'm doing a Clubhouse with one guy, and at 9:00, I'm doing a Clubhouse with Tamara Thompson.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it was sure good seeing Tamara again.
Yeah, she's freaking awesome.
That was lovely. What are your Clubhouse rooms on?
One,
you know the topic yet?
Yeah, well, one's with a buddy of mine that wrote a book that we're going to talk about his book, and he's going to do an Amazon Live with me, and then the other one is about marketing.
You and Tamara are doing one on marketing?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It'll be fun.
I mean, like anything, you can use or misuse it. And as long as you're using it to an advantage in a favorable way that serves all parties, I think it's a great deal, as long as you just don't let it become a time vampire and have it suck the life out of your life, because that can certainly be problematic. It was great for me because of the free time I had in Atlanta and the fact that I was alone. It was a perfect recipe to spend excessive amounts of time on Clubhouse. But now I'm back here at the house and in Dallas, and so my Clubhouse time allotment will be considerably downsized.
Yeah.
Which is
When
a
do you
good
go
thing.
back to Atlanta, Glenn, by the way, what's
When do I go back?
yeah.
I don't know yet, because the season changed so much with COVID, and it's a lot more difficult to do right now. It's not a great time to be a producer because there's so many extras involved. I think about all the extra expense it costs just for me down there in terms of all the extra days on top simply for COVID testing. So that would be all the extra days in the hotel, all the extra costs of the tests themselves. And then you times that times not just the cast, but everyone associated with the show in any capacity.
You
So
know,
the cost of production now through the roof.
that
And then if we have one issue, the whole machine shuts down.
Yeah.
And we had issues because issues are going to be had when what you're relying on, and we're talking about over 100 people. You're
Yeah.
talking about over 100 people every week, and it has to be perfect or everything shuts down until further news, and they do contact tracing and all of that. It's just it's a rough spot to be in.
Yeah.
I think, and we probably have something like 150 to 175 people all told, between drivers and set designers and construction people and the front office help, all of the grip and electric, and just everybody involved with the film, the director and executive producers and the writers and the script supervisors, the actors. It's way too complex, and one positive, and that's tough.
So that
That's tough.
that brings me to a question about it, because I actually, when we got finished at 2:30 a.m. my time, last
But
night,
we're still friends, right, Ken?
they're great friends.
Okay.
I decided, you know what? I haven't watched The Resident yet,
Oh, that's right. You watched the season premiere last night.
and both were available, but I was not sitting through. That would have been 6 a.m. Like, yeah, no.
I
But
understand.
I watched the first one with the wedding scene and all of that.
And
Oh, it was awesome. It was a great.
I thought it was one of our best episodes ever.
It was really, really good. And-
Jen,
Hey,
hi,
Jen,
darling.
I was really, 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 really happy that the nurse didn't die. Jeff, are you leaving?
No, I was just saying hello to Jennifer Moran.
Oh, I got you.
Boy,
Um,
Oh, that was nice. I thought it was a bye-bye from Jeffrey too.
I
Well,
know.
I can go.
No,
No.
we like having you here. Come,
I'm a
just
foot
come
away.
cuddle up with us.
All
Yeah.
right.
Come cuddle up.
Well-
So, what did you like about the show most?
Well- So I have a question about it.
And Scott, did you get to see it? No hard feelings if you didn't.
I've seen both the first two episodes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So, what's the review? Are we thumbs up? Are we good?
Way.
It's really good. So, but my question is this: how did they shoot the wedding scene during COVID? There's not one single person that had a mask on in that scene. Not
Okay.
one.
Okay. So I will tell you that every single person there had to be tested.
Wow.
This is what I mean about the costs that are now officially prohibitive. I mean, it's insane. So you're talking about a massive gathering of extras, all of whom had been tested the morning of. And everyone has to wear masks and right up until they are ready to roll. So everyone is sitting there in a masked world. So what you're not seeing is that everyone was masked all day long. And then they take them off for about 60 seconds. Now they've already been tested anyway, but they take them off for 60 seconds and we shoot whatever we need to do and they put them back on. Now, obviously, intermittent mask use doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
You
no.
know, I mean, it doesn't. It's your whole joke about the chain link fence. Tell me what that one was again. Like trying to stop someone from throwing sand through a chain link fence.
Yeah,
And I get that, but again, they had to be tested. And if you remember, even Matt and Emily kissed.
Yes, they did. I know.
Well,
I was-
again, that's because of a series of COVID tests. Still going to it's a tough sell for me to think of a kiss because I had a kiss in this movie that we did, the one with John Schneider, and I wouldn't do it.
You kissed John Schneider?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, Jeffrey, is they had scripted
Got
a
it.
kiss between John and I. No, not between John and I. There was a woman in the movie and I was supposed to kiss her. And I said, that's a deal breaker for me. And it was not based on morality at all. It was based on the fact that you're just not going to have me kissing a stranger during COVID. But I guess they felt secure enough about the test that it allowed them to do it. But I thought the episode was phenomenal and certainly heartfelt to the nth degree.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought for sure the nurse was a goner. That scene where you see her singing at the wedding was just like, wow. It was
I know.
And the second episode was heart-wrenching.
But there was a time cut, Scott. There
Yeah.
was a time cut there.
La 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 la. Dead puppies, dead puppies, dead puppies.
No, that's all right.
wow.
What were you saying about the second episode that won't be a spoiler for Ken?
Oh, it was heart-wrenching. It was. I loved in the first episode the card at the beginning saying, the time frame on this is the future. It's after the pandemic. That made very clear why they weren't wearing masks in that. But
Yeah.
Right.
the second episode,
Jeffrey, you'd like it. You would.
heart-wrenching.
I'm gonna watch it. You're
Oh.
making me watch it now.
Well, do you
I
have
just don't
Hulu?
like
Seen it, Jeffrey?
Do you have
we got
Hulu?
Hulu. Yeah,
Okay.
It's a great
we got
show.
Hulu and a big TV.
Well, the ratings were really good, and the EP of the show told me on set Wednesday of this week, which was the morning after it aired, said that even more importantly than the ratings is how elated the network was with the first part of the season. That Fox Television is super happy with the quality of the show and the trajectory that it is on. And the one we just finished shooting, which is episode 5, is my best episode in all 4 seasons.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
So I'm not going to tell you what we do, but they had me do more in this episode than any other one.
So you just
And
shot.
we're having a blast, Yeah, I just finished the 5th episode.
So is that as far as they are then?
Correct. Out of 14.
So
Wow.
Dean, that should answer Dean's question right there.
What?
How far?
Oh, well, there it is. Well, isn't that interesting? I was answering his question that I hadn't even seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's your answer. And what
Is that
happens is
typical, or
when
is
you
it
run out
all
of
you-
shows, they'll take a hiatus. What, Jeffrey?
Is that typical of how far in advance you shoot, or are you?
Yeah,
Or you know,
usually when you guest, like when you're guesting on a television show and you come in and do your gig, that show usually airs about 6 weeks after you do it.
Really?
Yeah, and as you get closer and closer to April, which are the final airings of the show, as you get closer to April, the network is chasing its own tail. So it is not uncommon to be shooting a show that airs 5 days later
Wow.
Whoa.
because they're running out of time. So a lot of these preemptions, when you wonder why are they preempting the show, the answer is the company didn't
Showing
have a
done.
show to deliver.
Yeah.
So they have to go to a rerun, But we're happy. I think we're going to have another successful season. And my feeling is because the goal of an episodic show is 100 episodes, because that's when syndication deals are made, you almost never see a 4th season cancellation because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
All right. It's the equivalent of it's the equivalent of someone making a 90-yard run down the field and there's no one to block them from entering the goal line, and they just stop at the 10-yard line and sit down. You don't see that. And
No.
you don't see shows getting canceled after 4. So to me, 4 equals probably 6 or more. Probably, but we'll see. You never know. You never know. What is this comment from Dean?
I actually agree with it. It was great to see a show that didn't spotlight the pandemic and masks the entire show.
Is that what a lot of the other episodic shows have gone to now for these mid-season?
I don't watch television. I watch your shows. That's it. So
Yeah.
I at first when it first started, I could tell it was moving into the but then they chilled with making it about the pandemic.
You know that people stopped me on the street this week in Atlanta and said, "We so loved the 'I love you' moment between you and your son."
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
And Makeup, who saw me the next morning before I got to work, Matt had sent me a text that said, "I just talked with Anthony, who does he's our mutual makeup artist. We have more than one. We have several makeup artists, but Anthony does Matt's makeup and mine." And he said, Anthony told me in the chair this morning that he cried when he watched it.
Oh wow.
He told his dad, "I love you." And I turned back to him and said, "I love you."
Yeah.
He said that just tore his heart up, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's take some questions from our audience.
So Paul says, what show is it and when is it on?
It's called
is-
The Resident. It is on at Paul. I don't know what
He's
time
in,
zone you're in, but it's 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox on Tuesday nights.
yeah, they're down. They're
And you can, on the Fox app, you can even the shows that have already aired yet. You can pull those up and watch the previous episode
On Fox.com.
Yeah, or
on
on
Hulu.
Fox app on your phone.
or on Hulu. Yeah, Hulu you can watch
Yeah.
every season. It's pretty cool. Awesome. So what other questions does the audience have? How did they do the audio with the masks?
Oh, hi, Greg. Nice to see you. You know, Greg's one of our Extra Mile team. The bulk of it was recorded as is. But in some instances, if they feel like a line gets botched or a word gets muffled, they'll just do it clean and come back in. The nice thing is it's the easiest ADR work to do because you're not having to lip sync.
Yeah.
So if it's even close, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Which means they can do post audio very quickly.
Oh, Gary had a question I didn't see. There's Nick.
Oh, there's Nick. Hi, Nick. Nick has become my bud
Nick's
on
awesome.
Clubhouse.
Nick.
She's hosted a few rooms with me.
She said
What a
hi to
sweetheart.
you first and then me.
Well, that seems like it's the correct sequence, isn't it? I mean, isn't it enough that you get top billing on the show? Jesus,
Oh,
relax.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, at least you got said hello to.
Well, you haven't
Hey, let's introduce Nick.
Clubhouse.
Nick, please meet Scott and meet Jeffrey. Please write back and enter hello, Scott, hello, Jeffrey, so that they feel acknowledged.
And don't call him Jeff, by the way.
I am, if you feel very generous, I'm a size extra large in Ralph Lauren. And you can just send it to Glenn or Scott and they'll forward it on.
And they'll wear it.
Oh my God.
I love that you not only suggest the gift, but the brand as well.
Bingo.
Oh,
And the size, of course.
I don't see.
Hey, Nick, I'm glad you're here watching tonight, sweetie.
Man, I'm
I'll
looking.
see you later tonight on Clubhouse after my interview with Jeffrey Gittimer.
So I'm looking for Gary.
Wait, you're going Clubhouse after you're done with us?
What else am
love
I
it.
going to do on a Sunday night?
I don't know.
I'm Johnny Jacked Up, baby.
Oh, that's a great question, Gary. There it is. Sorry, I interrupted.
Actually, that was her, Gary. It's interesting. It was the actress lip syncing herself.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was actually her song that they pre-recorded and they played it that day at the wedding. And she sat there and mouthed her own words.
It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Right. And the reason for that, in case you wonder, is because they didn't want her actual voice on the audio track. So that's why they do post sound and mix it in.
Damn.
Now, finally, I see Glenn laughing and smiling.
You mean now on the show, or you mean on The Resident?
You were just laughing and smiling.
Oh, well, Jeffrey makes me laugh. What can I say?
Gary, I didn't see your other question. I'm sorry. Can you, if you retype it, I'll see it. I looked and looked and looked. Oh, hold it. Is it this one? Glenn, since you were playing a character with Parks, did you twitch your hand as part of the scene when giving the ring to your son?
Well, first of all, thank you, Gary, for noticing a hand twitch. But the answer is no, I don't have Parkinson's, me or the character. But wow, I actually have, the character has Crohn's disease.
Oh.
Not Parkinson's.
But
Thanks for saddling me up with yet another disease, Gary, as if Crohn's wasn't enough. This next half hour will be brought to you by anyone who'd like to issue Glenn a new disease. Thank you, Gary.
This week, Glenn's disease.
can you suggest to Clubhouse to let Samsung? No, you're in trouble. You need to get an iPhone, dude, or get an iPad. Get an iPad. Find an old iPad for sale on. You know what? I actually think I have some iPad minis that I think I have a few of those.
Auction them off.
I should auction them off to everybody with Samsungs that won on Clubhouse. Yeah.
If you were selling an iPad, what app would you sell it on? What's the best app to sell a laptop or an iPad on? Would you put it on eBay? Is that the obvious one, or what?
No, I do it on Facebook Marketplace.
Really?
I'm serious asking the question because I've got a couple.
We sold so much stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
What would you do, Jeffrey? Do you know the answer to that?
I'd put it on Craigslist.
Oh,
'Cause you
geez.
Get
They're
local
making
people.
movies about Craigslist killers. Do you want to be murdered selling your iPad?
Hey, Ken, did I understand you to say that Clubhouse can be accessed via an iPad?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's good because I don't have to burn out my phone anymore.
Would you please answer that question again?
So
This
what is-
time, I think it's Scott's turn to explain
Scott,
what
go ahead.
Clubhouse is.
Scott, you're up. Full screen.
To quote the great American philosopher Ken Walls, Clubhouse is an audio drop-in ad where people can share ideas in rooms that attract their interest. Not close.
Very good.
That was
Was that close?
good.
An app. It's an app, right?
Yeah.
It's an app. Yeah.
An
Now,
audio available only currently to iOS users.
iOS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that you can have it on your iPhone and then log into the same account with your iPad. I haven't tried that. I'll have to try it. I don't
Sure.
know.
I have another Clubhouse question.
Okay.
As long as we're fielding Clubhouse questions tonight,
Sure.
is the idea of invitation only to limit trolls?
no.
What is the function of the by invitation only? Let's go to Jeffrey Gittimer with that question.
It's to make it more. It's to make it more in demand. It's like having.
So it creates an essence of elitism, sort of.
I'm getting 10 messages a day. How do I get on Clubhouse? Can you help me get on Clubhouse? I'll be your best friend if you get on,
So
be
it
on
creates
Clubhouse.
the idea is that it creates a feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, I
And-
guess that's why we've withheld access to our Sunday night show
Exactly. I would say this.
all year. When are we going to release this thing? We haven't ever had an audience see it. When are we going to go public
You know,
with it?
We're talking
This
about.
beta version has really been okay, don't you think? It's time
Yeah.
to
I
launch
mean,
the
this is only season 2. We were going to release it to the public in season 5. I thought.
app. Okay.
Oh my God.
When
Well,
get our
that's what
syndication
we got for
deal.
syndication, right?
Okay,
Was I
so-
wrong? I shared it out. I did what I was supposed to do.
You
So I
shared
have
it?
another Clubhouse question.
Okay.
If you have suggestions for improvements, where should those be directed? Because one of the improvements I think it needs, and you guys please offer your thoughts. Oh, wow. Justin says there are only 9 employees at Clubhouse. And that is I think they need to find out a way that when they bring the speaker to the stage, the mic isn't hot. Because it's bad that when you get asked to be a speaker and you say yes, you go from having no mic to a hot mic.
yeah.
And there is no telling what you can be caught doing or saying.
right.
And there can be a lot of embarrassing, not to mention at the bare minimum, the elevated interruption factor where someone is busy saying something that's of value and now they get a clown that's interrupting with noise and the person doesn't even intend to be an irresponsible clown. It's just the way it's set up. Can't they come up with a better plan than that?
Well, and here's the thing too.
Hi,
Um,
Colleen.
And Colleen, the way you get more invitations is if you have pending invitations, which I do, you call the people that are your pending invitations and say, accept the damn invitation.
Yeah.
That's
Or
how you
else.
get more. I invited you to be on Clubhouse. You wanted on and you haven't accepted the invitation. Accept it or I'm blocking you from my phone forever.
Whoa.
Because I can't get any more until you accept or decline.
Wow.
Whoa.
Boy, it just doesn't take much to get you to become venomous, does it?
You'd think he was from New Jersey.
Call back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, you can say it, but I can't. Wow. Bruce Greenblatt says,
I love Bruce Greenblatt.
"What are you three credible gentlemen doing with Jeffrey?" Wow.
Need a fourth for symmetry.
Wow.
Really the answer to our OCD issues.
Right when Jeffrey said, "I love Bruce."
I do. Bruce and I have been friends for 40 years, by the way.
Oh,
an
wow.
episode.
Wow.
By the way, I agree with what John says. A better way to highlight the speaker would be good. I'd also like if there was a way you could message people, like if somebody's
Yeah.
talking about something, if they could post a link or something that you could, because there's been a couple times that somebody said, "Hey, tell me more. How do I learn more about that?" Well, if you could just post a link, that would be cool.
Right. I want to give a shout out to Christina Crooks, who is the one other than Ken that I spent the most time with on Clubhouse this week. And it's interesting how if someone has a really good vibe, you can pick up on that and connect with them. And it's interesting that, I don't know, 10, 12 days ago, I didn't even know Christina was in the world. And now there's a comfort zone that exists. So that's kind of a cool thing about that app.
The Paul, I think it's just called Clubhouse, dude.
Yeah,
It's
there's more than one though, and it is
the logo is right in your hand.
But is it like clubhouse.com? What is it?
It's
it's the one that the icon looks like that.
yes, right there. Thank you, Scott.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That sort of takes all questions out of the
Scott,
equation,
do
doesn't
that.
it?
Can you do that one more time? Full screen.
Yeah,
I didn't
hang
realize
on.
you were that. I didn't realize you were that technical, Scott.
You know, it almost looks like Jimi Hendrix
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
on the front.
Yeah,
That's the icon for the app.
there it is. There it is.
So
So-
I'm jumping, you guys. I love being on your show.
Thank
I
you
have to
for jumping in.
Gabrielle to bed. for just a
Jeffrey,
little bit, and then I'll
Jeffrey,
see you.
whenever we shut down here shortly, I will click on the link and be right there
Boom.
with you.
I'll be right there as well.
Am I dressed enough for your show, or do you want a
Oh,
coat? You want a
indeed.
jacket?
I mean, come on.
He's wearing a Waffle
All right.
House shirt.
All right, but I didn't know if you were planning to change between now and then. Okay,
No.
let's check the
put
no
it on-
box on that
I
one.
put on one thing, and then I usually use that till the end of the day. Then
I want
put
to
on
tell you,
another-
brother, I love your 959.
Thank you.
I love your 959. I love the clever time that it starts. I'm impressed by your consistency. I love the things that come in, and I'm still yearning for a moment, and you don't even realize that I'm yearning. But I'm
You know
still
what?
yearning for you to take a picture of one of my comments, which you've never
Your
done. And I
yearn-
love you,
Your
but you've
urn-
never done it.
No, I'm going to go. Excuse me. I'm going to go way over yearning.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an Uber yearn.
I mean, it's tough. I turn to Carolyn and I go, I just can't seem to get him to want to photograph it. So I got to be really clever.
Do
So
you know what he's talking about?
he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. He knows exactly.
I wrote a poem about Jeffrey,
Really? There.
and I've memorized it, and I want to share it with you guys.
Cool.
Okay. It goes like this. As the sun rose this morning, I thought about Jeffrey. My first thought was, anyway, that's as far as I've gotten with it.
Do you know the Dorothy Parker poem? I love a martini, two at the most. 3, I'm under the table. 4, I'm under the host.
I did share this one the other day on Clubhouse, which was there once was a fella from Natchez whose clothes were mere stitches and patches. When people ask why, I would simply reply, man, when I itches, I scratches.
You got to tell the roses are red poem.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I've got a gun. Get in the van.
See, that was said with such authority.
Yeah.
You had to try it.
I know. Oh God, that's funny. Holy
All right,
crap.
you guys.
I'll see you here shortly.
See you
Jeffrey.
later, Jeffrey. Thank you for
Totally
stopping.
liquor.
Hey, hold it. Before Jeffrey
Don't
goes,
we have a parting gift for Jeffrey of some sort?
yes, I'm going to send
My
you
own
an
book?
autographed copy of your book. You autographed it. I got to plug the book, man. Jeffrey's new book, Go Live. I wrote one of the opening chapters in this book, and it might actually be one of the best chapters. I'm not judging. I'm kidding. It's a great book. Great book. So
Nice.
thank you,
All right.
Jeffrey.
Click me off of here. I don't know
See you
how
in a
to
few
do it.
minutes, dude.
You don't know how to do it? All
No.
right, I'll kick you. See you later.
Thanks for coming out and hanging with us tonight.
Pleasure.
Thanks,
Bye, Scotty.
Jeffrey. Bye-bye.
See you, Ken.
That's our brother,
He's great.
Jeffrey Gitomer in
What
the
a-
flesh. We were talking about
say?
Jeffrey before. Scott and I had a phone call today, and we were talking about Jeffrey and what a lovely thing Jeffrey had done to fly. I believe you said all the way to Atlanta. Was
Yeah,
it
yeah, from-
that he
from
flew to
LA.
Atlanta to attend a roast of you? Is that correct?
Yeah, the National Speakers Association during their annual convention always have some kind of foundation night, and so to raise money for the foundation, they had the Scott McCain roast, and it was an interesting night. But one of the coolest surprises was, because I'd even talked to Jeffrey before. I said, "Are you going to be at NSA this year?" He said, "No, man, I'm in California. I've got a gig in Los Angeles. I won't be able to make it all the way across the country." And they bring out the roasters for the evening. They got me in a chair over here. They bring out the roasters, and there's Gitomer. So
Jeez.
it was a big shock, a big surprise, and something that was really
Well done, Jeffrey.
so.
Hey, do we have a few more comments we can address before we get out of here?
Yeah, and I do want to say, and I think Scott, knowing Jeffrey as well as I do, Jeffrey is one of those guys that he's at first you just don't know how to take him, but the guy has a heart bigger than the state of Texas. I mean, he is just a good person. Good person.
Well, what I admire most about Jeffrey is he is unapologetically Jeffrey, meaning he doesn't hide who he is. He is just there. He knows who he is. He's clear, and he is not there to earn your good opinion of him. Yeah. He's there to just be who he is. And I love that. I love that kind of honesty and transparency in a human being. Yeah. Ordinarily, people are trying to bob and weave to earn your approval. And he really is authentic. And that's, to me, that's an admirable trait.
He's hilarious, man. I love that dude.
What else do we have from our comments?
I don't see any questions. I want to ask you a question, Glenn.
Sure.
I want to know from a business standpoint, and I would love to hear Scott's take on this as well. What do you see? Because, we've made this entire show pretty much about Clubhouse. What do you see the upside benefit for somebody, a brand, a company, an individual? What is the upside for somebody to really get into Clubhouse and start building their audience and all of that? What's the upside?
I have a feeling Scott is going to be more adept at giving you a business answer. My guess is he'll give you every bit of as good a personal answer as I would. He'll give you a much better business answer because that's his area of expertise. I think that on the personal level, and I'm actually answering this from the heart, Ken, which is that I personally believe this is the time in our history, in our lifetime, that we have experienced starvation of interaction with one another due to COVID.
I agree.
And that this is the spring back chance to perhaps even make up for lost time. We've missed one another. We are not creatures of isolation by design. We are social creatures. We benefit well when we interact with each other. We grow and love and stimulate and support one another. And this affords us an opportunity to do that and to do it in a safe environment because, we want to be safe. Nobody wants to be sick. Nobody wants to lose a loved one. And so here we have an app where we can do that, connect freely, not have to wear a mask, share our ideas. And some of us are very comfortable in this format of talking in front of large groups of people, and others, they're very nervous about it, but it's good for them to step into the arena and begin to build a bit of a public persona and a reputation and followers. And I suppose it's good for self-esteem for people that are in search of that.
Yeah.
I'm not. For me, it's an opportunity just to connect with people. Whether or not I attract followers is not a concern. My life is satisfactory. I do think that it helps get a voice out into the community. And my reason, I may have a different motive, but my primary motive is that I think there's a lot of bad misinformation that is being downloaded into the consciousness of the world about certain subjects. I think that people have promoted themselves to being in a position of a teacher when they don't know diddly squat about the thing they're supposed to be a teacher of.
Yeah.
And they are moderators. And so my job is to show up as a truth teller from experience in my area of expertise and make sure that there's not a whole bunch of lies and crap and myths there. So I'm online debunking a lot of myths.
Yeah.
And I like it. And if it winds up steering traffic to our shows, so be it. I certainly don't see it helping my career any, but I don't see it hurting it either. And maybe it gives the public a chance to speak to someone whose face they know, and that's a good thing.
I think that again, I mean, Grant Cardone got his first movie role from being on Clubhouse. He's in a movie now. And so I think that it again, it depends on your positioning and what rooms you're going into and who, all of that. So I think it could.
I think it could. I think you got to be careful because I don't know if everybody can do this. I know I can, and that's that I can sniff out an agenda a country mile away.
Yeah.
So when I go to Clubhouse, I don't have an agenda other than rolling up my sleeves and connecting with people. Yeah. I'm not trying to grow our audience. I spoke with Sandy last night on Clubhouse, or maybe it was this morning. I think it was early this morning, but I'm not trying to do anything when I go on. I'm not trying to gain followers. I'm not trying to create viewership for the resident. I actually am one of these rare breeds that I'm really only there to help if I can, answer questions if I can, maybe offer a shoulder for someone to lean on that needs support or understanding, or maybe they need to let go of a big, fat, heavy lie that they've been carrying around for years, and I can offer comfort as a fellow human being. My intention is as pure as the day is long. I'm not so sure that that's the case for everyone that goes on that, but that's none of my business. My business is to keep my intention pure.
Well, and that could be, that's with almost anything.
Right. But I want to hear what Scott has to say about business and that kind of thing, because
how do you think
he knows more about that than I do?
Glenn, I think it really piggybacks on what you talked about. I mean, the best thing that a brand or a business could do is use Clubhouse to listen, not to talk. It gives you such a great opportunity to hear directly what your clients or your prospects, think about your business, or think about where, if I had a small auto body shop, I'd go on Clubhouse to talk about things you need to know about fixing your car, but I'd also be asking and listening, what are things that the places where you get your car fixed do wrong? So that I know those are things I need to eliminate from my business.
You could avoid and come in with a stronger game plan.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not part. I mean, I did one the other day on storytelling, and I've got a online program I'm doing on the 27th about storytelling, but I didn't sit there and just talk about, doing the program that I've got. it was, what are the stories that you tell, and what is the impact that stories have had on you, and those kinds of things to learn, because it makes me better able to create the program because I can listen and learn. And that's,
Yeah.
I think that's the key to, but again, that's why so many people mess up social media. They get the media part, not the social part. And if I walk into a party and all I do is talk about myself and don't,
And how
listen.
Scott McCain feels about Scott McCain.
Exactly. I mean, then I'm not a good guest, and I'm offensive to the host, and I'm all of those things. Well, that's the social part, and that's what we have to do, online. So, and in any form, and I think that's part of what we have to do with Clubhouse is be respectful listeners as well as participants. Yeah,
Speaking of respectful listeners,
that.
Yeah.
Justin Benton is going to be on the cover of Respectful Listener magazine this month.
He is.
Hey, and I got to thank Larry Schneider said hi there, and he is so involved with LinkedIn and looks at what I do on LinkedIn and what he does in the water business is so powerful and so impactful. So, Larry, I appreciate, and then there's one of the things that, how many people here tonight have we talked to and said hi to that we had it not been for social media? I mean, there's a lot of your friends that I've connected with simply because we connected through this show.
Yeah.
And other folks like Charles Coachman and others that, that I was connected with and brought into the circle.
Yeah.
That's part of what I love about this, but it comes from, I really believe it comes from having your heart and your mind in the right place. And that is a place of service and connection, not selling and arrogance.
Authentic.
Don't you imagine that when we bring our own group of people, they know because they know us, that if we're going to run with some people, and clearly we're running with each other, the three of us, that they sort of arrive in their lives pre-approved. You know what I mean? So I know Joan Anton is on here with us every week, my dear, sweet Joan. And Joan is now family to both of you guys, right? And I've known Joan back from CSI days 20 years ago.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's kind of the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, so to speak, right? I mean, if you're involved with us, then you've met that standard. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, I need to go because I promised Jeffrey I would be out right at. So it's time for me to head on.
Wrap it up. That's a wrap. Let's roll. Let's do it.
But happy Sunday night, guys. We hope this has been a great week for you. And if it hasn't, then make some different decisions this week to make it a better week. Get out there and make great choices. We love you. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys. Is that it? You're going to take us out?
Let me take us out. That's it. Sunday night with Ken and Glenn and a guy named Scott. We'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.